Hello? Oh my god, it was off. Oh. you're you're here before Kristen is here. How's it going? Oh, let me also share this. Oh yeah, they still do that nowadays. Ah, there you are.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good, how are you?
It was strange. It didn't allow me to just sign in to the thing. Huh. No
Um,
matter, we're here.
where is unfortunate?
Who is unfortunately?
Hold on, I need to send this. So, happy April Fools.
Yeah, did anybody have any pranks pulled on them today? I didn't. I
Ignore
didn't
my
get to have
diapers.
that.
Yeah, so like I've learned something because oh, what'd you do? What was your prank? I wanna know.
Yeah, let's hear the prank. Oh no. Oh wow.
Wow,
I mean, that's great though.
that's hilarious. I do that to my boyfriend every year. I tell him I'm pregnant every year.
Yeah, I tell Michelle the same thing every year and she always believes me. But
Yeah,
she always steps up and she ensures that she will take care of the child and she will pay the child support. She always
I
does.
send him money every time.
Every time. Every time.
I haven't eaten in a while.
I I have no money. I have nothing left.
Oh, Shahira,
Oh.
you're
Oh
here.
wow. Hey Shakira, you're new to the group. Nice to meet you.
You know who that is.
I know who that is. But I mean you're new here, so welcome. Glad you could join in. We're just going to give like a couple more minutes for any stragglers.
You want to give a recap of last week? 'Cause I don't remember, to be honest.
Last week on Fabulous Duo, we had two stories as per usual. Um, One of them was about a boy that could see the urban legends in each city and interact with them. And we found out that he did some really fun stuff with them. Just in case you're tuning to live and you haven't looked at the previous episodes, I don't want to spoil anything. So if you feel like giving that a little look see, you can go ahead and check that out. And on Michelle's side, Michelle, what's your
Mine.
story? You know your story.
Oh yeah, what happened again? Oh yes, it
Oh,
was about
nymphs.
nymphs. It was about nymphs in love, fighting against assassins.
So Michelle's story.
That's what happened.
Michelle's story is based on the prompt that I had given her. Basically, a nymph king had set up a tournament to get like a knight for like a bodyguard set up for his son, because the son actually goes around collecting something special. Not going to spoil it from the human
Oh,
world.
I was about to just say
Yeah,
everything.
no, exactly. I know. So that was happening, and then in the prompt it does state that the bodyguard and the prince are already involved.
Yeah, and then assassins show up.
And then assassins. I mean, why else would you need the bodyguards?
Of course.
Yay, we get likes, we get likes.
I don't understand how that
Woo!
works.
It's to kind of gauge audience engagement. So the more likes we get, the more we can see how interested everybody is. Here I am explaining the app to Michelle live.
Really? Oh, so like Kristen, you can give us some.
Look, I'm already at
Oh, you did
58,
it!
okay?
Oh
I'm at
man,
58. Do you
I need
know
to set up
I'm
another.
reading stories and actively hearting at the show while, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
I put in a lot of
yeah.
work. I do
I'm.
this.
I do this.
Uh-oh. Uh, uh-oh.
Um, man, I should set up like a second
No,
computer and
no.
give likes.
You shouldn't do
I'll
anything.
ever just sit
You
there,
should just stop.
just sit there and.
Uh-oh.
All right, I. You want to start? I'm excited for this one.
Um okay, so last week Michelle and I had a strange twist of events. Essentially, we decided to give each other somehow the same prompt. And this week it is 50 Shades of Fabulist. I told Michelle that she should rewrite 50 Shades of Grey. She told me that I should make my own rendition of 50 Shades of Grey. So we thought, why not just do a collaboration, make one 50 Shades of Grey story for you guys, and it'll just be epic, and it'll be like a fun tale. But
So
then we
we
also
work
decided to try something
together.
new. Yeah,
Yeah, well, we work together on this one again because we like working together on things that are stupid. So,
yeah. Now, this one is going to be a little bit different. Do you want to just describe the formatting a bit, Mish?
yeah. So, since we didn't want to get too obviously graphic, we just decided to write kind of like a screenplay thing. So, it's more of a script than a story. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think it'll be good.
So in this script, basically, I'm going to be taking on the role of Christian, and Michelle will be taking on Anna.
Yep.
So
Ready?
I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Wait,
Okay.
wait, hold on. I just want to put this over here. Oops.
I'm
Oops.
just quickly making sure we are ready, because I'm ready. And then you're ready. And then Jen's ready. Brian's ready. Shakira's ready. Looks like everybody's ready. And they're getting ready? They're ready.
Okay, go.
Okay. I'm Christian Grey.
I'm Anastasia Fupi.
Let's make this quick. I only have
Checks watch.
7.
This interview is for the special Kwanzaa issue of the student newspaper. You are very shining to have amassed such an empire. To what do you owe your success?
By following the same routine every morning. Waking up, whipping my teeth, and then eating at the gym.
Your company is involved, primarily in agricultural projects, feeding the world's wolves. With that kind of passion, I wonder if your nose might be bigger than you had thought.
Some people say I don't have a nose at all.
I did some research on you, and I see that you're unmarried, and that you were adopted at the age of 6.
You intrigue me, Miss Foopy. Whenever someone intrigues me, I jump excessively.
My laces are flying.
What are your plans after you graduate?
I was planning on moving to Brampton with Ariana Grande.
The best part about having success is getting to give students like you my favorite piece of advice. Wake up on a Saturday night.
When I'm around you, I feel like a painter at a children's charity.
I've heard that before. Well, I hope you have got everything you need.
I did. And whenever I have a great interview, I do my favorite dance called the bouncy sushi.
They begin dancing. No!
The end.
And that was our
Hello.
50 Shades Fabulous.
That was our rewrite.
Yeah, so that was our screenplay, and that was the story.
Hey, 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 hey. No. Oh no. Oh no. Hey, so you're the only one here right now.
Okay.
Oh shit, you can just did I oh fuck, I sent you the wrong link. Okay, get out. Get out. Get the hell out.
Why is Shahira a talker right now?
Because
I,
Kick her.
I don't know how.
Oh my god, just right click on her and kick her.
I
No, no.
can't.
Leave her before it might kick her and make it so that she's not like able to join again. So don't kick her.
I don't care.
Don't kick her. Don't kick her. Don't kill her.
I'm trying to kill her.
Don't shoot her.
Okay, so the the thing just logged me out. Hey.
Welcome.
Okay, but seriously though, I thought didn't you set it to don't kick me?
I set it to be a certain amount of time, a couple of hours.
How many
So
hours?
it I mean, you haven't been logged in for more than 3 hours.
Oh, 3 hours. Yeah, no wait. No, I
You haven't
haven't.
been.
So what did it kick me for? Stupid thing. Unless and
Yeah.
I didn't have any other tabs open either.
I don't know.
Hey, sorry, that was actually an accident for real. It wasn't just an April Fool's prank. The April Fool's prank was the 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, the story was the prank.
April Fool.
April Fools. Yay. It was very well timed, it was very well timed. But
That
that
was the
was
worst.
yeah,
I
it was definitely
honestly
something.
I don't know if it's gonna do it again or not because I don't know why it did it in the first place.
It's fine. We'll fire you after the show.
Yeah.
But um let's see here. So last week we had given each other the same prompt for this 50 Shades of Grey. Clearly, that was an April Fool's joke, and we hope you all had a fun time with that one. And that did anybody fall for it? Did anybody think that that was actually the story? Come on, be honest.
I think Jen did. Jen, did you think that was the story?
It should be.
Jen's like, I'm used to quality. What is this? No, but like seriously, when what are you talking about? I kept that up normally. Okay, but seriously, like that was the worst. Anyway, are we waiting for other people to come in?
Um, well, now that everyone's trust in us has been broken, no,
You know
no,
what?
it's
You know what?
oh, it's fine, it's fine. So here's the actual prompts that we had given each other. So last week, after we were done our stories,
Yeah.
we had given each other we finished our
Real
recording, we finished
prompts.
everything, and we gave ourselves real prompts that you guys were not privy to until now. So, the prompt that I gave to Michelle was that the gods are all going to be playing pranks on Loki. And the prompt that Michelle had given to me,
Was a new whoopee cushion that is. Hold on. Okay,
yeah,
a new whoopee cushion that is lamenting the day someone uses it.
yeah. So, the whoopee cushion is sentient, and it is absolutely horrified of the day where it is used.
It's a whoopee cushion after all.
It exactly. Whoopee.
So who's
So,
going first? Because I don't know.
all right, rock paper scissors.
I can't. I can't.
Okay, you go
Oh my
first.
god. Oh my god. Okay. So this one is called "Whooping with Delight." From the shelves, you would see them being taken one by one and handed to a happy little child giggling at the sight, each shaking in each shaking in fear, although not visible to the human eye. It was extremely hard for them to watch their family members torn away from them with the intention of never being returned. The ones that the others assumed to be the lucky ones, as they made it back, ended up in a huge bin called used toys, separated from the ones on the shelves. They would never respond to any of the others calling out to them. They just had a blank stare, the stare of a broken whoopee cushion. They did not know what they did not know what could have caused such trauma or damage that they would end up this way, but they knew that they didn't want to find out. It was a beautiful summer day in the city. Birds were chirping, not a cloud in sight, a cool breeze to ensure the heat did not overwhelm anyone. Families were out shopping and picnicking, just having the time of their lives. A small store in the city that had a moderate amount of shoppers popping in and out was having a special sale that day to help merchandise that was not really selling as quickly as they liked to fly off the shelves. Some of the merch was a little outdated and no longer appreciated in this day and age, which led to them causing a clutter in the inventory. Due to the sale, a huge influx of people rushed into the store grabbing everything off the shelves. A large family with 3 boys had come in right before the store was ready to close. The store clerk had apologized for the mess and let them know that the sale was a crazy one and that they only had a few products left, but were willing to discount them even a bit further. The 3 boys were walking through the store, knocking down things accidentally and being overall mischievous. One of them, who looked rather mischievous, had been running through the aisles and stepped on something that made a loud sound. When they looked down, they saw they had stepped on a whoopee cushion, but wasn't quite sure what it was. All that they knew was it made a hilarious sound and loved it. The other brothers caught up and were poking fun at the brother. Gross, you farted! I'm telling your mom you're being dirty in public. Did, did you poop yourself? They teased. The brother had picked up the whoopee cushion and was showing it to them by squeezing it and letting it inflate. The 3 of them began laughing and crying from the sound and ran back to their parents. Mom, Mom, Mom! Dad, Dad, Dad! We want these! We want this fart bag! They had pleaded to their parents. The store clerk took them to the shelf to get the ones that were still in their packaging. The parents gave in to the kids' wishes this time and took the remaining of the whoopee cushions from the shelf, knowing full well that this would be annoying for the next couple of days, until they had gotten bored of them and thrown them aside. Putting their own wants aside, they hesitantly chased. They hesitantly cashed out and headed back home. Meanwhile, in their bag, all of the whoopee cushions were freaking out, screaming to each other. How am I supposed to say that? Thuppa, thuppa, thuppa. Like, am I just gonna. Oh, I see. Which roughly translated to, no! They're going to torture us! The whoopee cushions, being that they were still in their fresh, pristine packaging, actually had no idea what their purpose was, so their minds were going wild. They pictured having to see each other torn apart, with all the rubber pieces scattered, their inside inflation foam mangled and deformed. Being on the shelf, having these anxieties and worries were a whole different story than actually being in the bag, heading home with their captors. Some of them could feel themselves starting to break already from the nerves building up. Finally, upon getting home, the kids had rushed to grab their dinner and brush their teeth after, as they were not allowed to open their toys until then. Finally, the oldest of the boys had reached into the bag and pulled out one of the whoopee cushions. The others felt themselves shrinking in horror at the potential murder scene they would be witnessing. The boy had carefully opened the package and smirked, looking at the toy in his hand. Suddenly, he hugged it and let out that funny sound again. The whoopee cushions were all in shock, watching this, as this wasn't horrific at all. A hug didn't seem so bad, and they did feel like it looked pretty relaxing to have that massage of the pressing and reinflating. They were all starting to like the idea of being taken in by this family, until the kid's smirk became wider as he snuck up behind his father about to sit on the couch and dropped the cushion down onto the seat. He seemed to be moving in slow motion to the whoopee cushions as they saw this man sitting into his seat, followed by the sound of the whoopee cushion. Haha, you guys got me. But who knows? Maybe some of that was real. What the hell? The dad jested to the kids, who looked incredibly grossed out by that comment, but also laughed hard. The dad. Oh, I lost it. Okay. The dad pulled the whoopee cushion out from under himself and gave it back to the kids, who threw it back into the bag with the others before they head up to bed. The warmth, the heat, the weight, the stench. The whoopee cushion started to repeat itself over and over again, while the others were in the bag just observing in a shock like horror. They all began to panic frantically. Now all they wished for was to be torn apart and have their stuffing ripped out. Anything would be better than having this grown man's butt, who had been out all day and had yet to shower, smoosh them into the seat and pin them down in that in that warm, disgusting seat. Yeah. Every day, the kids would play with the whoopee cushions they had opened up. Sometimes they would rip them apart while they were quarreling over who would get to play with it at the time. Or, if one of them felt like playing with a certain colored one and didn't want to trade with their siblings, one by one the toys became unusable and broken husks of their former selves. What was once a beautiful, sleek rubber bag that brought joy from a single squeeze was now a garbage bin of tattered, ripped edges and punctured pieces, having sponge spilling out. Finally, there was just the one whoopee cushion left in its packaging, alone, having watched all of its friends and family taken one by one, used and tossed away. It was just waiting for the day it was its turn to come, where their grubby little hands would rip apart the plastic that kept it seemingly safe. Now, either by miracle or just prolonging the torture, the children had lost interest in the toys and had not touched the last whoopee cushion at all. Days went by, and eventually it was thrown into a box that had been sealed up in darkness. Time passed. Maybe it was days, maybe it was weeks, perhaps even years. The whoopee cushion felt safe, but also sad. Everyone around it was lost, and it had remained, but it also had to witness the horrors they all endured. It had finally come to acceptance with everything as a light. Oh, it had finally come to acceptance with everything. As a light peered through, the box opened, and a large hand reached in, rummaging through until grabbing the cushion with an exclamation of, "Ah, I remember this." Finally, it was time to join the others. The
Ta
end.
da!
Well,
That
That
was
was morbid.
terrible. Yay. So, Michelle was really, really wanting to have stories about something being sentient, and it was either a whoopee cushion or a story about how crackers met cheese and found out they were a perfect combination. Now, I do love
Yes.
crackers and cheese. That is a great nighttime snack. But this whoopee cushion? What?
What?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Did any of you enjoy that, or were you all grossed out?
Yeah, no, the cheese and crackers one, I was really debating. I was like, do I want whoopee cushion? Do I want cheese and crackers? Yeah, it was. It was like it was like, someone finding an old toy they were used to play with.
Yeah, for the people, it was definitely something to enjoy. For the whoopee cushion, it was like, well, it's time.
I just like the detail about the unwashed ass, the unwashed grown man ass.
Can
So
you
thanks
really
for
think of
that.
anything worse?
I I can't. I really can't. I think of
Like,
worse things all the time, but right now I'm at a loss.
right now, yeah, that's just, it does not get worse than that.
Grown unwashed ass. And and like the part where he's like, who knows, kids? Some of that might have been real. Like
Yeah, the
one
father
day
is
this could all be yours.
definitely a father of
I don't
sorts.
know if that was a dad joke or like an unwashed man joke. I don't know.
Unwashed caveman ook ook joke.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. No, that was funny. That was good.
Yeah. Now
I
I
don't.
had to be descriptive because you got to think about it from like the perception of a whoopee cushion. You know,
Mhm.
I don't want to be sat on. Why don't I want to be sat on? Not for the obvious reasons of having someone sit on me, but because of how disgusting and gross it would feel.
To be fair, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And now I know that. I've
And
never
now
thought
you
of it
know.
like that.
And now
I've
you
never thought of it
know.
that way. Yes.
Yeah.
Um. Cool. Is there anything you want to add? Is there anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, so now that they've been taken out of the box and they're going to be used again, these people are washed.
Thank God. Thank God for that. I'm
Thank
so happy for
goodness.
these
Thank
whoopee
goodness
cushions.
they are washed, you know. Um yeah.
we, to be honest, how can we
But
take your
even though
word?
they are washed, they're teenagers now. So does it really count?
I remember when I rediscovered whoopee cushions.
But were you a part of like a trio of teenage boys when you did? I don't know.
Yes.
So keep in mind that those kids are grown up and probably dirtier than their dad's unwashed ass. So that's
Fantastic.
kids. That's kids for you. Gotta love them. And I just want to mention, in regards to the opening story that we had, the 50 Shades of Fabulous, um, clearly that was a Mad Libs. We didn't randomly just put in things like, oh, my laces are flying, because I mean, what does that even mean? Right? Mad Libs is the way to go. If you want to just get a nice little joke out there, Mad Libs. I love Mad Libs. Michelle and I used to sit there on our phones and do Mad Libs and just die from the nonsense we had created.
Yep.
I still have them saved on my phone. They're good.
Yep.
They're good. They are the best. Oh, look at that. Shahira just left. Rude.
Oh,
Um,
I kicked her.
oh no. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Her watch has ended.
Yeah, that's the end for her. But yeah, no, it was funny. I have 7.
I have 7. Okay. I have two. I don't. Oh no.
And
All
my
right.
laces are flying.
So let's see. This story from Michelle about the gods playing a prank on Loki is called "The Gods Are Probably Crazy."
Okay, so quick thing. Does anyone, if you feel like answering, does anyone know the actual history of Loki? Like actual Norse mythology, not the Marvel stuff? Because if not, this
Then
story
this is
is actually,
perfect.
yeah, that too. But it's also really, really short. Yeah, okay, so this one's particularly short, and it's basically just because I actually did a lot of research for this one because I was interested, and the story itself is too good to not write. So I just kind of rewrote it. Yeah, I didn't write that part. I did not
Yeah,
write that
no,
part.
that's not going to be in the story because I'm sure she wouldn't make me read that.
You
I'm
are?
sure.
Uh,
I'm sure.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Uh huh. Um, but yeah. So with that in mind, I'm glad no one knows. So this is gonna be good. You're gonna learn something. Okay, that's all
Excellent.
I have to say.
All right. So without further ado, let us begin. A fishing net was the perfect combination of loops and tangles. The feeling of satisfaction after completing one wasn't the only reason it was worth making. It could also be used to catch fish with a truly ingenious design that allowed smaller fish to escape while keeping the bigger fish inside. It could morph itself and stretch into an infinite number of shapes to ensure that it wouldn't break. Only someone of the utmost cunning and sharp of mind could have invented such a useful tool. So why was the inventor of this amazing contraption currently tied to this rock with a snake circling above his head dripping venom into his eye? Loki had no idea whenever it was that he became known for tricks and pranks himself. Sure, he used he enjoyed using his words to mess with the gods of lesser intelligence, and yes, he did like it when he was able to plunge a banquet's discourse for the evening into arguments full of malice, but he wouldn't consider that causing trouble. All he ever did was tell the truth. Well, parts of the truth that were convenient to him at the time. The gods themselves somehow thought that they were all above honor and ethics. All he did was point it out sometimes, and if that caused turmoil, then it's really their fault for being so immoral all the time. What was the crime in pointing out someone's faults? He had only intended for them to use his criticisms to improve themselves. He'd never even played a trick on anyone in his life. Until just recently, anyway. The one time he decided to play a practical joke, this happens. The other gods were angry over their own mistakes again. How long were they going to keep him tied up here? It wasn't his fault that Frigg had taken the oath from every object on the planet except for mistletoe. In fact, it was rather funny. Baldur was considered the wisest of the gods, for some reason. And for being so wise, one would think that he would have seen this coming. Both Baldur and his mother Frigg had dreamt of Baldur's death. Their dreams were always prophetic in nature, and so they were both worried. Baldur was living in fear of his life until Frigg decided to set up an oath, or sorry, decided to take an oath from every single thing on Earth: the wind, the water, the dirt. Everything except a single pretty little plant. Because she thought that it was too young to swear an oath, or more likely that it wasn't important enough. Because of this, Balder was pretty much invincible, and he even became more popular for doing absolutely nothing. The dim-witted gods had a new dim-witted pastime where they would just throw anything and everything at Balder to watch them bounce off him, knowing that he was impervious and that nothing could hurt him. At the sound of Frigg's boasting about how no one could hurt her son, Loki thought that this would be a perfect opportunity to show the gods the error of their ways. After Loki found Balder's one weakness, he set out and fashioned a spear out of some mistletoe that he found. He returned to find the blind god Hod, who had been left out of the fun. As he was blind, he didn't know where Balder stood and wouldn't be able to hit him. Loki knew that if Hod tried and failed, the other gods would probably just laugh at him. How funny would it be if Loki helped the blind god kill the most perfect and wise of all the gods while thinking that he was invincible? The looks on their faces would be a sight to behold, and it would teach Frigg the value of all things. He gave Hod the mistletoe spear, who knocked it like an arrow in his bow, and Loki helped him shoot it at Balder. The spear pierced Balder through and through, and he died instantly. Loki thought that that was the funniest thing he'd ever seen. But none of the other gods were laughing. Everyone was mad, but Odin and the giantess Rindir were so mad that they gave birth to the god Vali, who grew up in a day and slew Hod. At Balder's funeral, Odin sent another one of his sons, Hermod, to the goddess of death, Hel, to plead for Balder's resurrection. Hel, being weak as she was, agreed to let him go if everyone in the world alive or dead would weep for him, and everyone did, except one person. Again, the gods were trying to cheat the laws of the universe just because they were gods, and Loki again felt compelled to show them the error of their ways. He disguised himself as the giantess Thok and refused to weep, causing Hel to keep Balder in death. Some may have considered that a prank. However, he would argue that if the gods weren't so dense, none of this would have happened in the first place. After that, Loki tried to hide until the gods' anger at him subsided. He turned himself into a salmon and swam away from anyone that tried to catch him, until another pair of Odin's sons found his ingenious fishing net and used that to capture him. Finally, using his own son's intestines to tie him to a rock, the intestines turned to iron and Loki was trapped here for good. If it wasn't for his wife, Sigyn, holding a bowl over his head to protect him from the snake's venom, he'd be in pain for eternity. Only when she left to empty the bowl did the snake's venom fall into his eyes, causing him to shudder in pain, rippling the earth beneath him, making earthquakes. The prank that the other gods had pulled on him was becoming less and less funny the longer he stayed there. He just thought that once he freed himself from these bindings, he would show them all what a real prank was.
What'd you
Yay!
guys think?
Did you guys like that? Did I tell Michelle the story previously?
Did you?
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Then why did I do all that research for hours and hours?
I don't know, but I told you the story before. I told you.
Um,
I've told Jen the story. I've told lots of people the story. I love the
oh,
story.
but, well, there you go. So, I decided that I wanted to just kind of rewrite it from his perspective
Yeah,
because it was
you
just
did write it.
too good.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, I was doing a lot of research and I found that like, the god that Odin and the giantess kind of created, named, hey, thank you,
Yeah, yeah, clap.
Valley, was also described as Loki's son. So it's like really weird because I was using Wikipedia a lot and I was like, well, how is the god Valley Odin's son and Loki's son at the same time? So that was confusing. And like I found that the mythology for the Norse stuff is all over the place because like I don't know where they people thought that Loki was Odin's son because from like a lot of the stuff I was reading, he's not Loki's son. Like there's not many times or like there's hardly any times where he's referred to as Loki's son. And on top of that, there was also like a confusion. Nice. There was also a confusion about whether or not Loki made an arrow out of mistletoe or a spear out of mistletoe. So like I kind of just said that Hod used the spear as an arrow because there's a couple times where they say that Loki made a spear out of mistletoe, but then in the afterlife or wherever we find Baldur later, he's walking around with the arrow that killed him. So I'm like, I don't know if it's a spear or an arrow. But yeah. Oh yeah, and if you don't know, this is kind of where the tradition for mistletoe comes from, because and again there was more research has to go into this, but because Frigg ended up um, kind of saying that mistletoe should be like a symbol of love after this event, and now
Hmm.
we all kiss under mistletoe.
Yeah. It's just a way to, honor her lost son.
I actually read that they got him back, and then she was like, now this is a symbol of love, but I don't know. Like I said, it's really all over the place. I would have to
It's all over.
I literally after this I'm probably just gonna read through more of it because I want to find out what exactly is Valley. Because Valley, like they say the moment that he was born, and he was born from Odin and the giantess for the sole purpose of revenge. But then in the same story, well, no, he was born for the purpose of revenge. But yeah, no. So I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. I'm like obsessed now. By the way, like I'll talk about this forever if nobody
Yay.
stops me. But yeah, no, it's really interesting. And then there's the whole thing about the snake that was like tied above his head and was like dripping poison into his face and making him cause earthquakes. And I'm like, oh, is that snake the same snake that's his son? And it's just all over the place. There was also the story about how Loki got impregnated when he was a horse, which I
Yeah.
didn't read into, but I was like, that's definitely interesting as well.
The thing is, the gods do whatever they want, as Loki says. They do whatever. They don't care. Like, how many times has Odin gone out and got, or, I mean, all of them. How many times has any god gone out somewhere, knocked someone up, and just a new god was like born? And it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, by the way, that happened because I was bored.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like honestly, I feel like Loki, the Marvel Loki, it's really
Hmm.
really inaccurate to the point that it's kind of sad. But like, not that it's not a good like character and show and everything like that. But I mean, like the actual lore is far more interesting in my opinion. And also, I thought it was really really funny how Frigg was just like, "Let me take an oath from everything in existence so that it doesn't hurt my son, except that." As if,
Yeah, for real. Because it
you
was
know,
so tiny and insignificant, it was like, no one's gonna do that. And then Loki's like, well, I'm gonna do that.
exactly. It was, it was kind of like, well, Frigg, if you just, you know, took an oath from it, then your son wouldn't be dead. And then, like, the mention of hell in there, which was, I think, more accurate to the. Wait, no, it wasn't. The mention of hell, I think in Marvel Universe, she's Odin's sister.
No,
When no, in the Marvel universe.
it's Thor's sister in the Marvel universe.
Okay, so yeah, she's actually supposed to be Loki's daughter.
Daughter.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's like all over the place. But no, I actually really liked researching this one. I did most like I didn't even I did most of I spent most of my time researching, and I just was like, what am I gonna write? And then this story was like this happened. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna write that story.
And it was wonderful.
Yeah,
It's so good. I love what we do.
yeah.
And I love that everyone's here to like listen with us and get to enjoy all the things that we're doing. Um, yeah, yeah. Where's all of your April Fool's stories, guys? We told you guys in the last episode that you guys had to bring stories.
We did.
No, it's an April Fool's.
Oh, it's an
Yeah.
April Fool's.
It's an April Fool's. But we did have a race war. So, Michelle, what are the results of the race war?
I
Elves
no,
won.
to be honest, I forgot we even did that, and I don't know if
Okay, so everybody in this chat, I want to know what is your favorite race of mythical being, kind of. So, like, do you think that humans are the best? Do you think that dwarves or gnomes, maybe fairies, elves? Did you maybe nymphs, mermaids, centaurs? What is your favorite? Yeah, angelkin is the best, but they're not counted here because that's like a whole different type of mythology.
we
Oh, we
got.
got one for elves.
Hold on, fairies won.
Fairies won.
Yeah.
I think I voted for fairies to be honest. But you don't mess with the fae.
um. Yeah. So yeah, there was one vote, and it was for
Okay,
fairies.
dragons are amazing. Dragons, I mean, they can
I wouldn't
be
put dragons
humanoid.
in the. I mean, I guess sometimes they can talk, but most of the times they can't really.
Yeah,
You know.
you know.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know any stories about nymphs except for mine.
Yeah,
They
they do.
talk
They
in
do. They do
horns.
talk a lot. Yeah, they just talk and they collect their stuff, and all the time it's always just like, "What brings you here, traveler?" And it's like, "I came to seek your gold." Well, then, smush,
Well then,
because
smush.
no one wants to give up their gold. I don't want to give up my gold.
Okay, but I've never heard or read a story about nymphs before. Mine is the only one.
You're the first
No,
ever in history. That's it.
ever.
You are
Yeah,
the one writer to write them all.
I win. I win. Everyone else should go home. But yeah, no. It's hard for me to be like, yeah, nymphs are my favorite because I just made up everything. I don't really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just know elves are not my favorite because everyone likes them, and that's my only reasoning. I think mermaids might be my favorite.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Well, it is Friday night and you all have partying to do. And by partying I mean sitting at home, maybe watch the movies, have some hot chocolate. But um next week's prompts for you guys all to tune into.
Uh,
Michelle?
I forget about this every week.
Yes,
Every
you
week.
do. In that
I
case, I'll give you
forget.
your prompt first.
Okay.
My prompt from Michelle is you, and yes, you, POV, you become a scientist for the government. Your What you find out is that every vaccine the government creates also has a disease being born a part of it.
Bruh. An endless chain of death, you say?
Tis, Michelle is tired of writing happy stories, and I'm tired for her. So let's get her back into her doom and gloom, everybody. Woo!
I mean, the Loki one was pretty bad.
Woo!
Yeah. Yes. So, hold on, I wrote it here. I wrote it. I did write it. Did
Keep
I
in
not write
mind, we
it?
are not anti vaxxers. We are not, this podcast is not pro or anti vax. You do what you feel comfortable with. Just don't hurt anybody else while you're doing it. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Did I not write it here? Well, anyway, I believe it was.
I know
Correct
what
me
it
if I'm
was. So if you're wrong, then I will.
Yeah, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. So, the prompt was somebody kidnaps your cat, and what do you do?
Yeah, that's the prompt. That's the prompt.
Yeah. I expect some, what's the guy who had his dog kidnapped?
I don't know, Mando.
Mando. I expect a Mando to happen.
Who had his dog kidnapped?
Was it a Mando? I'm pretty sure it was Yeah, John Wick.
I'm John Wick. You in
Yeah,
a movie,
no.
you know that there's like people in real life getting their animals kidnapped all the time. I thought you were talking about something real in the news that happened recently, like award-winning dog gets kidnapped by angry neighbor who wants to be famous.
Um, Mando. Yes, like that. Brian's adding to your prompt. You now have magical angel powers.
No, no, no. He's just stating like I have to use what I already have in real life.
No. Okay. Okay. Then there you go. Whatever happens, happens. That's
Yeah.
the extent of my prompt. Just whatever powers you have in the story is up to you. But yes, I'm excited for mine. Like it's bruh. I'm
Oh
excited.
yeah. Oh, I know you're excited for this one because I'm just like, you know what? What will get Michelle to have the most fun time? And this is going to be fun. So we're going to get to see that side of Michelle that digs deep into conspiracy theories and is probably going to get us shut down by the government. Yahoo!
Oh yeah. So like if I write some stuff about like the CIA and stuff like that, you're all my accomplices. All of you.
Every single one.
Yeah. You're also so Kristen, you're also Sailor Moon now with angel powers, which I think is what Sailor Moon has.
Let's see. Okay, okay. This is going to be fun. I already know what the story is going to be like. I already have it built in my mind just because I know what my life is. And it's going to be amazing.
I'm just gonna pick a conspiracy theory.
I'm not going to pick a conspiracy
Okay.
theory and evolve it
And evolve it into
like a
Sailor Moon.
Pokemon.
Oh, two animes. Wow.
Two enemies.
Two minis.
Mayonnaise.
Uh,
Yeah, I know. I know. A lot of you guys don't like mayonnaise. I like. Well, I hate mayonnaise because it's so easy to eat all of it at once. It's so good. Um. So we'll see you guys next week, and hope
Only.
that.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I hate
But
mayonnaise, but I feel like it's a staple in a sandwich. So it
yeah, you
hurts
shouldn't put
me.
staples in your sandwich.
Therefore, that's why I bleed from my mouth when I eat mayonnaise. Uh, Vegan mayo. I've had mayo with like avocado, made with like avocado oil or something, and it's really tasteless.
Hmm.
How do they make vegan mayo? Because I thought the main ingredient was eggs.
Well, it's a mixture of like egg whites and oils and stuff like that. But like when you do anything, there's like egg replacement and all that other stuff, and um, yeah.
Oh,
But you
interesting.
know how, the vegan stuff goes here, when we have the tomatoes will come to life and try to eat you. So the mayonnaise will definitely fight back.
Oh, that's good. I'm up for a fight. I'm up for a challenge. I'm up for a challenge to eat a sandwich.
Excellent.
Now I'll put a staple in the mayonnaise.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yes. Well, with that, we will say goodnight to everybody. And we hope you guys had a fun time. Michelle
Yeah.
also
Oh,
thinks you
oh.
wants you guys to have a fun time.
I was
So
totally zoning out.
she was thinking about staples in her mayonnaise.
I was okay. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
listening in. Sorry about earlier. That literally wasn't my fault. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Come back next week. We're gonna have something recorded with sound effects. It'll be great.
Something absolutely fabulous. It's still going. It's still
Yeah.
going. It's still
Okay,
going.
bye.